Welcome back to Well, That's Interesting, the only podcast brave enough to ask, can you actually die laughing? I'm Jill Chacha, and I'm with Big M.
Oh my God.
Marissa Riley.
That's right. That's my new butch nickname is Big M. Big M.
You gave yourself that nickname.
I did. I really did. I didn't mean to. It just happened.
It just came out of you. It just came right out, and I'm never going to let it go.
I believe you. I believe that you're never going to let it go.
Big M.
Big M. But the real question is, can you actually die laughing?
Yes.
I am curious.
Yeah.
I have thought about this once or twice because I heard the headline, not to brag, a few days ago, and I did have a few guesses, but I don't want to say them now. I'll say them at the end.
Yeah, it's a really simple question, but it's going to be a fucking doozy this episode.
Yeah.
And it's just so strange how what I think is going to be a simple topic, like to cover and talk about, becomes like the most horrific thing. When I start to research it, it's just like, oh my God, this is terrible. We have to do this. We have to talk about how terrible this could actually be.
Yeah.
It's kind of like that episode where we talked about if you never got out of bed. I thought that would be simple, and no, it became horrific.
I agreed. I thought it would be simple. Also, we can take horrific topics and make them even more horrific than you could ever imagine. Like the gut parasites episode.
That was fun.
Or cannibals.
Yeah.
The cannibal episode.
The cannibal one was a little tough. The parasite one was a little fun, especially when your colon comes out of your ass. That was fun.
I did like that. I would never wish that on my, greatest enemy. Maybe a certain president, but actually, I really want that to happen. I hope that happens. Is that weird that I hope that happens?
I bet it did. It had to. It had to happen.
Wow.
Yeah. So as we stare off into space. So I got this topic while looking through Wikipedia's list of unusual deaths, as one does.
Amazing.
And
a great place to start.
And I came across someone named Martin of Aragon.
Oh, sounds very noble, question mark?
This dude didn't live very long, only from 1356 to 1410. Which, if you think 2020 is bad, just remember the 1400s existed. But 2020 is still bad.
It's still terrible.
It's still fucking terrible.
But also we're not, waiting in shit.
Yes. Well,
well
we kind of are.
We kind of are.
In America. Martin of Aragon was king over Aragon, of course. Valencia, Sardinia, Corsica, Sicily, and Count of Barcelona.
That's a lot of places.
It's a good gig.
Mm-hmm.
Good
gig.
That's
a nice job.
Now, Martin died outside the walls of Barcelona, and the exact reason why remains unclear. His death could have been caused by our friend the plague, a good old-fashioned interfamily poisoning,
fun
as they do, or something called uremic coma, thanks to his severe obesity.
Wow.
But there's one theory that still persists to this day, and it's so odd. There's got to be a kernel of truth to it.
All right.
Okay. Like it was noted, Martin loved to indulge in eating.
Same.
Yes.
I just did.
We just had enormous amounts of pasta. It was great.
So much.
And Martin, too, loved to indulge in eating. And on one particular day in May 1410, Martin was snacking down on a whole goose in his bedroom.
Relatable. So relatable.
A whole goose.
A whole goose.
In his bedroom.
Replace goose with 2 burritos and...
we're all Martin.
Then we're all Martins.
Like, if you didn't eat a whole goose in your bedroom, did you quarantine?
Exactly.
I mean, so...
And then chase it with a bottle of moderately priced rosé.
Oh, that's classy.
Yeah.
That is classy. I was not expecting that. I wasn't going to pick moderately priced rosé. That's nice.
I like to pair my highs with my lows, you know? Nachos with Bordeaux, you know? I'm kidding. I never drink Bordeaux. But...
Oh, nachos are great. Okay, let's focus. Focus. God damn it. Okay. So Martin is eating a whole fucking goose.
Damn.
In his bedroom alone. No shame.
Totally fine.
Eventually, indigestion hit and a little cramping, you know.
Yeah.
So he needed to be cheered up.
Yeah.
Enter his favorite jester, Bora. Bora, the court jester.
Bora, the court jester. I would love to see this person's picture painted.
I couldn't find one. Could not find.
God damn it!
A picture of
Podcast over. I'm kidding.
Could not find a picture of Bora. Their interaction began with some small talk, and the king asked the jester where he had been spending his day. Bora's answer was in the form of a joke, and apparently was thus, quote, "In the next vineyard, where I saw a young deer hanging by his tail from a tree, as if someone had so punished him for stealing figs." That was the joke.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's yeah, that's a joke.
It's a sentence.
It's a sentence.
It's a sentence.
Yeah.
And, well, the man who thinks a goose is a snack also found this hilarious. And so much so, he laughed uncontrollably for about 3 hours.
Okay.
When he finally hit the floor dead.
Interesting. All right.
Yeah. So today we're going to ask, can you actually die laughing? And spoiler, yes, you can.
Oh, hot damn.
Martin may have literally died while laughing, but the good news is laughter itself can't kill you. It can, however, trigger a pre-existing condition. That's right, and we're going to find out the what and the motherfucking how after the break.
Fuck yeah. Products.
Hello, everyone. You may recognize me as Gabby from the History of Everything podcast.
And my name is Brenna, and you don't recognize me from anything yet.
Together, we're two scientists who explore all of the weird little questions and conspiracies of the universe in our new podcast, Mystery of Everything. Everything has an explanation.
We hope.
That is what we're here to figure out. We will dive into the science behind many popular conspiracy theories, such as vaccines causing autism, flat Earth theory, and was the moon landing fake? And if so, why the heck would anyone even do that?
But it's not just conspiracies. There's a lot of cool mysteries that we will attempt to use science to explain, such as near-death experiences, what made the Vikings go berserk, and can I control my co-host with MK Ultra?
Wait, what? Anyway, make sure to check out the Mystery of Everything podcast everywhere where you find your podcasts.
We're the All Creatures Podcast. Each week, Angie and I explore and share amazing details about the many animals we share our world with.
Plus, Chris and I are both PhD scientists and educators. So we do the deep dives in the scientific research and then come back and share what we learn in a fun and casual way. We also speak with other scientists, animal experts, activists, and many other conservation enthusiasts from all over the planet.
So you can find the All Creatures Podcast wherever you get your podcasts.
Hey everyone, Jill Chacha here from Well, That's Interesting, and I am absolutely thrilled to tell you about Spotify for podcasters. I use it, I love it, and it all started by downloading the free Spotify for Podcasters app, which has all the tools you need in one place to record and edit your masterpiece of a podcast. Spotify for Podcasters also distributes your show to all major platforms. So when you hit publish, your episodes will stream not only on Spotify, but I'm talking about the Apples, the Googles, Stitcher, Good Pods, the other ones. You get the idea. And you can monetize your podcast with no minimum listenership required. You could also set up monthly subscriptions and record ads just like this one. So what are you waiting for? Download Spotify for Podcasters today and start changing the world. Oh, and please, stay interesting. And we're back. And I forgot to mention, this is episode 017.
Oh, yeah.
17.
Lucky
We're
number
almost
17.
legally an adult.
Oh my gosh, that's right. So leave us alone. No, I'm kidding.
Creep. No, it's fine. We're back, and we're laughing in the face of death, as per usual.
As per usual.
We're talking about what possible pre-existing conditions may have to be in place for laughter to trigger and cause a little death?
Very good question that we should all take into consideration.
Yes. Let's start big.
All right.
You want to start big?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's start with brain aneurysms.
Shit. That's a scary one.
That
Could
is
happen
scary.
to any of us at any time.
That's
Isn't
right.
That crazy.
That's right. That's right. According to healthline.com, quote, a brain aneurysm is a bulge that forms in a blood vessel in the brain. Some aneurysms go undetected, yet a bulge can eventually rupture and cause bleeding in the brain.
Horrifying.
End quote. That's right.
Horrifying.
Vulture.com reports anywhere between 1% and 6% of us are walking around undiagnosed.
That's a huge percent.
That is a 1 to a 6 of us. Now, laughing does put some pressure on your cranium, so is it possible to laugh so hard that you rupture an existing bulge? So what a sentence.
Great.
Ronald L. Dahlman is a professor of surgery at Stanford University. He says, quote, yes, possibly, especially if you have a large abdominal or aortic aneurysm, visceral artery aneurysm, or intracranial aneurysm. Hard laughing may increase blood pressure, which could precipitate rupture in an existing aneurysm if it was far enough advanced. In an interview with Gizmodo.com, he continued, quote, no one knows exactly what precipitates rupture in an existing aneurysm. It is a combination of increasing weakness in the arterial aortic wall combined with pressure and hemodynamic forces. A patient of mine once ruptured his abdominal aortic aneurysm watching Monday Night Football with friends at home. So it's possible, end quote.
Oh my God.
That's right.
That was an amazing quote with an amazing anecdote. Holy shit.
It was a lot of big words, and then it ends with Monday Night Football.
Wow. Is Monday Night Football funny? No, it was probably from something else. Like, team.
I know.
Can you tell I never watch football unless forced to?
It's a sport. I know that.
Yeah, it's
on
sport.
A Monday.
Clearly, yes.
And
night.
At night.
We're doing so well.
This is fantastic. Did not research Monday Night Football.
No.
But if you are enjoying your favorite team, do the sports, or watching stand-up, and you suddenly experience a severe headache, vomiting, double vision, and confusion, you may have popped an aneurysm.
Oh, shit.
There you go. That's not, or just experiencing what sports is and stand-up is. So
yes. Entertainment that
can do that.
That is often forced on some of us, so.
James Hamblin of Vulture.com goes a little further with pressure changes in the body. Would you like to read this one?
I would love to.
All right, here we go.
All right. So they wrote, laughing could also kill you by bowel death.
Great. Sorry.
When you laugh, you contract your stomach muscles and increase pressure on your abdominal wall. That force can take little parts of your bowel, or can cause little parts of your bowel to poke out through small holes in your abdominal and pelvic wall. A hernia. Hernias are common, and lots of people get them. But if you're laughing really hard and the hernia gets strangulated, that means when the bowel gets trapped in the little hole and its blood supply gets cut off, that can be intensely painful and require surgery.
That's right.
Oh my God.
Well done.
Thank you.
Well done. I just dropped that on you. I just dropped some bowel death on you.
You
sorry.
did. And another thing I'm going to be thinking about.
You handled it like a pro.
Thanks.
Absolute pro.
Thanks.
Now, I've definitely experienced some stomach pains while laughing.
Same.
Hard, right? But I never thought bowels could poke out of your... Right?
Nope. I definitely thought I was reading that part wrong, but...
100% right. Wow. Yeah. And I'm sure we've all also experienced shortness of breath as well. So it's not hard to believe laughter can trigger an asthma attack.
There you go.
Which is what you said during the break.
Yes,
Absolutely.
yes. As someone who has asthma and thinks everything is funny, I have experienced some not urgent symptoms.
Oh my gosh.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
You can get like wheezing and like shortness of breath.
Yeah.
And then you need your inhaler,
Yeah.
and you look like a loser
No.
in elementary school
Oh, okay.
when something's funny.
Oh, all right. There's we'll talk about that after the show.
That's my trauma.
That's
I'll
another-
work on that later.
That's another podcast we could start.
Yes. Asthma trauma.
Asthmatic Big M. Where the fuck are we? Okay, asthma. Which Healthline.com states going untreated can lead to respiratory failure or cardiac arrest. Sorry, I should have. Whoops. Sorry about that.
All good.
Jorge Antonio Gutierrez, assistant professor of cardiology at Duke University, stated in his Gizmodo interview, quote, "I know of one case and one case only in the medical literature in which somebody died laughing. It is a cardiovascular in nature. A 50-year-old woman was on medication for schizophrenia, and sometimes these medications can lead to an irregular heartbeat.
Oh, no.
She was told she needed to stop the medications for this reason because she was at risk for cardiac death.
Oh, no.
But she didn't take the advice. Later, she was at home, and someone made a joke. She laughed for 2 or 3 minutes and then passed out and died.
Oh, my God.
The laughter triggered an arrhythmia. She actually died laughing." End quote.
Horrifying.
Yeah.
Horrifying. I hope everyone in her family awkwardly made a joke about it to release the tension, though.
Seems like that kind of family. Maybe.
I feel like when you gotta, I don't know what I'm talking about. I feel like everyone awkwardly brought it up at some point. Let's make me stop talking.
Okay.
Tell me more.
Let's talk about in the ballpark of cardiac arrest is something called syncope. This is defined as a temporary loss of consciousness or fainting due to insufficient blood flow to the brain.
Well, that's terrible.
It is. It's caused by low blood pressure, dehydration, exhaustion, and heavy sweating. Now, laughter-induced syncope can cause fainting, and that's not particularly deadly unless you hit your head while going down.
For sure. Mm-hmm. For sure.
Same for folks who suffer from catalepsy. Laughter actually causes some people to lose muscle control, and they just flop to the ground like a deflated tube dancer in a used car lot.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's so embarrassing.
It's a tough
and
one.
bad. And
it's a
bad.
Tough one. It's a tough one. Just imagine. We would never get through this podcast. We would just
We'd just be flopping around.
just out.
You would just hear that the whole time. That's us flopping on the ground. That was a great impression.
You did great.
Was that awesome?
That's why I pay you the big bucks.
Thanks.
Now, I don't pay her at all, actually. And believe it or not, there's something far, far more disturbing than anything we've already talked about. And I saved it for last. And this podcast wouldn't be this podcast if we didn't talk about something fucking disturbing.
Yeah.
Now, in the highlands of Papua New Guinea lives a tribe called the Fore, F-O-R-E.
Okay.
During the 1950s, their population was about 11,000, and about 200 people died a year from something they called the kuru, K-U-R-U. Now, the kuru literally means shivering or trembling.
What?
Would you like to read a quick description of the kuru? And this is from NPR.org's Ray Ellen Bitchell.
Of course.
There you go.
All right. Okay, so once symptoms set in, it was a swift demise. First, they'd have trouble walking, a sign that they were about to lose control over their limbs. They'd also lose control over their emotions, which is why people called it the laughing death, in quotations. Within a year, they could get up off the floor, feed themselves, or control their bodily functions.
Yeah.
They couldn't.
Yeah.
I was going to say, that's good, but no.
That's not.
One more time. Within a year, they couldn't get up off the floor, feed themselves, or control their bodily functions. Wow.
Yeah. So what was causing the people of the Four tribe to go absolutely limp, shiver, and laugh uncontrollably? It turns out this rare condition was only found within this tribe because this tribe had a very specific cultural practice. When a family member passed away, they weren't buried. They were eaten.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Quote, if the body was buried, it was eaten by worms. If it was placed on a platform, it was eaten by maggots. The Four believed it was much better that the body was eaten by people who loved the deceased than by worms and insects. Women removed the brain, mixed it with ferns, and cooked it in tubes of bamboo. They fire roasted and ate everything except the gallbladder. It was primarily adult women who did so because their bodies were thought to be capable of housing and taming the dangerous spirit that would accompany a dead body.
Wow.
End quote. Yeah.
That's beautiful, but at the same time, horrifying.
Yeah. Unfortunately, the women would also share the meal with their youngest children. So victims of the Kuru were primarily women and children of the tribe.
No.
Yeah. And get this. Kuru wasn't a virus or a bacteria, fungus, or a parasite. It wasn't even a live thing doing this. It was an infectious particle that would settle on nerve cells, forcing them to contort and twist until the cell died.
Wow.
This was basically mad cow disease in people.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Holy shit. Now, the Four stopped the practice of mortuary feasts years ago, and the last person to die from Kuru was in 2009. Quote, when Shirley Lindenbaum, a medical researcher, visited a South Four village in 2008, one man said excitedly, see how many children we have now? Yeah.
Wow.
I know. Thankfully, no one in the Four tribe is dying laughing. And that's the end of our show.
Excellent news that they're not dying.
Yeah.
I wanted to quickly say there is a horror movie called We Are What We Are, and it's about cannibals, and they would have this weird, like, muscular problem. And that was how, I don't know if it's the exact same thing, but I'm drawing a serious through line. So
yeah, that is one of the multiple setbacks of cannibalism. It's this muscular situation. Yeah, that's especially with the women eating the brain. From what I read, that's very dangerous, and that is one of the reasons why this infectious particle would just like settle in the body. And the thing is, because it's not a live organism, it doesn't have to activate right away. So it could actually be in your body for years and then suddenly trigger. That's why the last person died in 2009, because they were just carrying this particle around in them, and then it just like switched on. Yeah, I highly recommend looking at the NPR article. Just Google NPR and Kuru, and it'll come up. It's incredible.
I'm going to do that right after this, and then I'm going to do a deep dive that I'll regret probably when I try to sleep later.
Yeah. Gosh, what else? I think that's it. If you want to support this podcast, at the end of the podcast description, on the platform of your choice, be it Spotify, Apple, whatever, there's a link that says support this podcast.
Yeah. And you can do that.
And you can buy us a drink, which would be great, among other things.
We need to start telling people, like, buy us a drink.
Buy us a drink, goddammit.
Yeah.
And stay interesting.
Please do.